Good morning to you, though not a very good morning for me because I've had a shocking loss on the pound against the US dollar using the London Breakout Strategy, which normally is very profitable for me, but I've made a load of rookie mistakes today, which I'm going to show you so you don't fall into the same trap. Okay, so the London Breakout Strategy, I'm here in the UK, and what I do is I blank out the Asian session here, which is the highs and the lows of the Asian session, which runs from midnight to 8 o'clock in the morning UK time. And it's a really tight range this morning, just under 20 pips. So normally that indicates it's going to be a good breakout, which I thought what would happen is, so these are 5-minute candlesticks, okay? And if it breaks either side of this box, either goes short or long. In this instance, I wait for a full 5-minute candlestick to go above, so then I go long where the arrow is. And I was looking for 20 pips and risking 10, so it's a 2-hour return. And as you can see, it started to go up a few minutes afterwards, and it started to come down again. And to be honest, in the back of my mind, I was thinking I was pushing it because the pound against US dollar has recently hit a yearly high. So it really was pushing it, but I was just going by the system, by the strategy. And then it started to come back down again. Now here, this arrow here, this is what really frustrated me because that's where my stop was. And then it started to go back up again, albeit I wasn't looking at the chart every single minute, although I was checking it down again, because you shouldn't be checking it every minute or so when you're operating on the 5-minute chart, because obviously what can happen is the price can come down, need to hit your stop again, go back up again and carry on back up. In this case it didn't, and it started coming back down again. And this is a live chart here, and this is currently 11:45 in the morning on Wednesday. Okay, so that'd be it. Normally I call it quits. I'm not going to go and look for another London breakout trade. I'm not going to, if it goes to the other side, I'm not going to go back in again. One trade, that's it. If it fails, that's it. Okay, I take a loss. I've put a stop in, and that's it. But because it's the end of the month, I was thinking there's not many more days left of the month. I really want to maximize my profits for the month, albeit I am slightly up anyway. But I got a bit panicky. And because I've had success with the Euro US, that's what I looked at. So I went and had a look at the Euro US, and this is the Euro US chart. Okay, and this grey box here is the Asian range, even tighter range. Okay, now because it didn't go up the top here when I took out the pound US, that's why I took the pound against the US dollar, because this hadn't broken out. Having said that, the pound against the US dollar is highly correlated with the Euro US. In other words, they work in similar ways, so they tend to trade in similar direction, to move in the same direction. So I was checking on the Euro US as well, so that should give me an indicator that the pound US wasn't going to work out, because if this started to come down, that's what would happen to the pound against the US dollar. And what happened was, by the time I'd finished trading the pound against US dollar, I was back in after this big dropping candlestick here. Remember, this is just 5 minutes. And I'm thinking, what's happened here? Because there was no news on Forex Factory to say there was any big headlines coming out that would affect the pound against, the euro against the US dollar. So, as this was the first candlestick to break the box, then I should have got in here, okay? But I didn't. Instead, I got in down here, and the reason was because I was thinking, okay, maybe there'll be a reversal, it would go back up again. But, even if there wasn't a reversal, why would I be stupid enough to come back in here when I'm losing probably another 7 pips? And of course it rebounded. Then I could have been even more stupid and gone long based on the fact that it's hit support. But thankfully I didn't. As you can see, it's a live chart now. It's 11:47. It's starting to come back down again. And I just want to show you something else. Show you the US dollar basket. Okay, so I'll keep the Euro US here, and this is the US dollar basket here, okay? Now the US dollar basket, this is measurement against a basket of foreign currencies. The main ones in there are the pound and the euro. And so normally what I do is I check the US dollar basket to see if the dollar is going up or down against these basket of currencies, because I know if it's going up, then probably the pound and the euro are going down against the dollar. And look how symmetrical they are. So these grayed out boxes, you can see it's currently going down, the euro against US dollar, and that's because the dollar's going up. So you can see exactly the same, only in opposite directions. Also, if we have a look here, when that dropped big time on that candlestick here, this one went up. So exactly the same in the opposite direction. It's very symmetrical. So you can learn a lot by looking at US dollar basket. When you're trading the US dollar, specifically, a lot of traders will be trading the pound against US dollar, the euro against the US dollar, then the most heavily traded ones against the US dollar. It's always a good idea to have a look at the US dollar basket, because that gives you an indication of where your trade's going to go when you're trading the pound against the US and the euro against the US. And that's what I did. I also look at that as well. I also look at obviously the different time frames as well, the hourly, the 4 hourly, before I come down to the 5 minutes. And as I say, the pound was very much pushing against its highest value for the year. So to get 20 pips out of it, I really was pushing it. But there again, I was just going via the system, via the strategy. But at the same time, because the euro US was coming down and I didn't get a trade on that, because it's correlated with the pound against the euro, I should really have taken that into consideration. But yet again, I let emotions get involved. I was getting anxious, and that's never a good thing, to let your emotions get involved. And even after all these years, I still let my emotions get involved, and they can take over very quickly. And that's that's really why I wish I'd gone for a run this morning, because I'm injured at the moment. I can't run, but that's why I'm the running trader, because I love running, and it clears my head. And when I come back, it sets me up for the day, and it clears out a lot of the emotions, and I think more logically about my trades. So there were several rookie mistakes here. Obviously, the biggest one was trying to get into a trade, or trying to force a trade where there wasn't one there. Being anxious to get a win because it's coming up towards the end of the month, and then going back in again when I should stick to my rules. I should have stepped away from the keyboard. Coming in here when you can see this big candlestick here, I shouldn't have come in here. That was the first mistake. Then coming in at this level. So many rookie mistakes today, and I look at that chart now and I think, what an idiot. And you're probably thinking the same. He's an absolute idiot. And fair play to you, I am. I completely messed up this morning, and the worst thing now would be for me to go back in and trade, not necessarily London Breakout, because it's gone 11 and I wouldn't trade after 11 on the London Breakout. And also, nothing's going to happen today on the London Breakout. It's just been one of those days. But I could go back in and look to trade something else, maybe another currency, or maybe trade gold or something else, just for the fact that I think I need to trade to get a winning trade to cover my losses. But that's literally just revenge trading, and that's not a good idea. By posting this video, it's helping me because I'm being very logical about it. I can clearly see my mistakes now. It's very cathartic for me. At the end of the day, I say it was a shocking loss. It's less than 1.5% of my account. If I get a winning trade probably tomorrow, maybe even Friday, then I'll probably be still up for the month. So it's not the end of the world. Maybe a puncher on one of my wheels on my car, but there's no point in me going around slashing the other three because I've had a couple of losses. The worst thing now would be for me to go back in and trade again. It's bad enough getting one loss. Okay, that's acceptable. To go back in like that was a really bad mistake. Looking at all these rookie mistakes here that I've done, that was the biggest mistake. But now it's time. As the song goes, you got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. And I've stopped now. I've posted this video. I've learned from my mistakes, and that's all you can do when you're trading, is learn from your mistakes, see where you went wrong, and hopefully you learn from them. But even after all these years, you can still get het up with the emotions. But you shouldn't worry about one day's loss, week's loss, month's loss. And at the end of the day, if you're up over the year, that's what matters. And it's just one trade. It's just a couple of trades that I've lost today. But because I put the stops in, I haven't blown my account. I've made a few mistakes, which I realise what I have. I'm going to calm down now. It's nice and sunny out here in the UK, and I'm just going to relax and chill for the rest of the day and not think about trading. Just clear my head. And that's what anybody should do in this situation, and that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully you've learned from my really, really bad mistakes today, and you won't fall into the same trap. It's easily done. It happens to the best of us, but yeah, I've learned from my mistakes today. No more trading for me today. I'm just going to chill, relax, and I'll see you later.